Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter.
Frank Martin was the latest victim to fall to Tank Davis, suffering a devastating knockout on June 15th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Martin, just like Lamont Roach, had hoped to be the first to hand Davis a career defeat and take home the WBA lightweight title. Instead, Davis showed once again why he's one of boxing's most dangerous fighters, finishing Martin in the 8th round with a well-timed, punishing shot.
We're going to conquer it. Everybody know what I'm committed to do. If you don't, then shit, you're going to be in for a surprise. I know he won't be surprised.
Following the fight, Martin has opened up in a recent interview, revealing just what trouble Lamont Roach might be in. "He's got power," Martin said. "He does a great job at landing the big shot. He knows how to land that shot and hit guys on the button to get them out of there." He emphasized Davis's accuracy as a key difference maker, saying, "He's an accurate puncher and knows how to land that shot." These words may seem simple, but coming from someone who experienced Tank's power firsthand, they're heavy with meaning. Martin is no rookie. He's a well-schooled fighter with solid fundamentals, yet even he couldn't handle what Tank brought to the table.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling you, you saying you going down in a night?
Roach has been vocal about his determination, claiming he's ready to shock the world. "My mindset is to beat him," he told Boxing Scene. Roach seems to be thriving on the underdog role, feeling counted out by fans. But no amount of bravado can change the facts. Davis is coming off a knockout win over a strong contender in Martin and has an unbeaten record of 30-0 with 28 knockouts. Roach, on the other hand, is moving up in weight and facing a fighter who is at the peak of his powers. Martin's experience should serve as a warning on its own. The fight against Davis wasn't one-sided. Martin had his moments in the first 7 rounds, but when Tank found his rhythm, the fight quickly turned in his favor. It wasn't just raw power, it was precision and timing.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, "Who do you want next?" And Tank's going to say, "I want all those guys." And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, "Who do you want next?" He say, "I want all the guys."
Martin's comments about Davis knowing how to hit guys on the button highlight this perfectly. Davis doesn't just throw bombs, hoping for a lucky connection. He dissects his opponents, waiting for the perfect moment to land a decisive blow. For Roach, the psychological battle may be just as important as the physical one. Davis has a reputation for breaking his opponent's will before breaking their bodies. Even if a fighter survives his early power shots, the mental strain of knowing that one mistake could end the night is enough to wear anyone down. Roach and Davis have history, having fought in the amateurs, but that familiarity may not work in Roach's favor. Tank has evolved into a more complete fighter, and his confidence only seems to grow with each victory.
Tank all day, baby. Tank all day. Easy work.
Roach's recent success shouldn't be overlooked. He captured his junior lightweight title in November 2023 by defeating Hector Luis Garcia and successfully defended it against Feargal McCrory. But those fights are a world apart from what he's walking into on March 1st. Davis isn't just a champion. He's a 3-division title holder with a reputation as one of the most feared punchers in boxing. The jump from 130 pounds to 135 pounds is significant, but it's not just about size. It's about dealing with the speed, power, and experience of an elite-level opponent.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
The build-up to this fight has been filled with tension. Roach's camp, led by his father and trainer Lamont Roach Sr., knows they're facing an uphill battle. While they've expressed respect for Davis, there's an undeniable sense that they feel overlooked. Roach Jr. has said, "This camp is different because I feel like they are counting me out." But being counted out isn't the same as being underestimated. Davis doesn't take anyone lightly, and Roach will need to bring more than just determination to the ring. Davis's win over Martin wasn't just another notch on his belt, it was a statement. It marked his 30th professional victory and solidified his reputation as one of boxing's pound-for-pound best.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog. And, he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm going to show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
His knockout power is no secret, but what's becoming increasingly clear is his ability to adapt and execute a game plan. Martin's acknowledgement of Davis's accuracy underscores just how dangerous Tank is. He doesn't just throw punches, he lands them with intent and precision. However, Lamont Roach Jr. is making it clear that he's not stepping into the ring with Tank Davis just to be another name on Davis's growing list of knockouts. Roach isn't shy about addressing the comparisons to Frank Martin. Roach believes he's a completely different challenge for Davis, and he's vocal about it. Respectfully, I'm not Frank Martin. Frank Martin started boxing when he was, 15? Roach said in an interview with Najee Grampus on Cigar Talk, Premier Boxing Champions actually lists Martin's start at 17.
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like, I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
For Roach, the distinction is critical. He's implying that Martin's later start in boxing left him at a disadvantage, especially against a fighter as dangerous and polished as Davis. Roach, who's been in the sport since childhood, considers his experience to be a key factor. Roach elaborated on Martin's lack of experience by saying, Frank Martin don't got the experience that he needed, as everybody could see. It's not like that I'm just talking shit or nothing like that. He didn't have the experience to be in there with someone as skilled or as experienced as Tank. It's a fair critique. While Martin came into the Davis fight with a spotless record, he didn't have a long history of facing elite competition. That gap in experience was evident when Davis found his timing and dropped Martin in the 8th round.
You think that the boxing fans is kind of hypocritical when they beg for fighters to dare to be great, but if they see it from your point of view, instead of Gervonta being frustrated with Gervonta Tank Davis, you stepping up, you daring to be great, and they won't be frustrated if they look at it from your point of view.
Roach didn't stop there. He went on to assert that he's on the same level as Davis in nearly every aspect. I got the same skill level as Tank. I got the same experience as Tank. I got the reflexes. I have the ability. I damn sure got the IQ. That's a bold claim, especially considering Davis's resume. Tank's 30-0 record with 28 knockouts speaks for itself, but Roach seems unfazed. He's not just talking about surviving Davis's power, he's talking about matching him in every category.
Hey, can you see who it is? Yeah. Who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is...
Perhaps the most important part of Roach's confidence comes from his durability. I think I got hit on my shit a couple times. Ain't nobody ever dropped me, Roach said. It's true that he's known for having a solid chin. Even in his lone career loss to Jamel Herring in 2019, Roach insists he wasn't truly knocked down. A counter right hook from Herring dropped Roach, but the referee ruled it a slip after seeing Roach's foot come up.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been a...
The ref saw that my foot came up and I tripped. That's why he didn't call it a knockdown, Roach explained. It's this kind of toughness that Roach believes will set him apart from Davis's past opponents. He knows that many of Davis's opponents didn't just lose physically, they were beaten mentally before the final bell rang. But Roach is determined not to let that happen to him. His mindset is clear. If he's going to lose, it won't be because he crumbled under pressure or got caught off guard. Roach also acknowledged Davis's power, something that no fighter can afford to overlook. Davis's knockout ratio is staggering, and only 2 opponents, German Miraz and Isaac Pitbull Cruz, have ever made it to the final bell with him.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight Ryo.
It's worth noting that Davis was dealing with a hand injury during the Cruz fight, which likely contributed to his inability to score a knockout. That fight was a test of Tank's ability to adapt when things don't go his way, and he passed it. For Roach, that adaptability is one of Davis's most dangerous traits. But despite all of Davis's strengths, Roach still sees areas he can exploit. The ones that I do know, I'll try to exploit, Roach said. However, he's not under any illusions about the challenge ahead. It's not going to be easy, we all know that. He's a hell of a fighter. That kind of respect is refreshing in a sport often dominated by trash talk. Roach isn't claiming to have some secret formula to defeat Davis. He's just confident in his own abilities and prepared to put them to the test.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, it's definitely some more heads to put on the wall.
Lamont Roach Jr. has never been the type to sit back and let his fists do all the talking. Whether it's in the ring or stirring the pot on social media, Roach isn't afraid to make noise, especially with Tank Davis in his sights. Their upcoming showdown on March 1st is more than just a fight for a title. It's a fight for pride and redemption. Their rivalry dates all the way back to their amateur days in 2011, when Davis got the better of Roach twice. Those losses have clearly stuck with Roach, and this fight is his long-awaited chance to settle the score. Over the years, both fighters have carved out impressive professional careers, but Davis has undoubtedly risen to superstar status. Now Roach is determined to rewrite history by doing what no one else has done, beating Tank and taking his belt.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. The
rivalry between the two heated up in a very public way on Valentine's Day. Roach, ever the provocateur, kicked things off with a bold post on Twitter. His poem, "Roses are red, violets are blue, March 1st sounds like and the new," wasn't just playful banter, it was a direct challenge. It let the world know he was coming for Davis's WBA lightweight title. But if Roach thought Davis would let that slide, he was mistaken. Davis quickly clapped back with a poem of his own. "Roses are red, violets are blue, March 1st sounds like don't worry baby, you'll be home soon from the hospital." It was classic Tank. Sharp, ruthless, and loaded with intimidation. The exchange went viral, with fans eagerly dissecting every word and taking sides in the rivalry. With all this tension in the air, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn is shaping up to be the perfect battleground for their long-awaited clash. Fans are full of anticipation for what promises to be a high-stakes, no-holds-barred showdown. For Roach, this fight is a chance to silence the doubters and prove he belongs at the top of the lightweight division. For Davis, it's about maintaining his dominance and putting another exclamation mark on his undefeated record. However, despite the noise Roach is making, not everyone is convinced he can pull off the upset. Terrence Crawford, one of boxing's most respected voices and a current welterweight champion, weighed in with a dose of skepticism.
He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys that everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give him no fight. They not mentally there. You know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not gonna be.
In an interview with Fight Hype, Crawford broke down his thoughts on Davis's opponents and questioned whether Roach has the mental toughness to endure a full fight with Tank. They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally, they're not going to be able to keep it up that whole fight, Crawford said. Coming from a fighter as experienced and battle-tested as Crawford, those words carry weight. Davis has a reputation for wearing his opponents down, both physically and mentally, as the rounds go on. If Roach doesn't have the resilience to stay sharp under that kind of pressure, Crawford's prediction could prove accurate. Crawford didn't stop there either. He mentioned Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis as two fighters he believes could pose a bigger threat to Tank. By highlighting those names, Crawford indirectly downplayed Roach's chances and suggested that Roach might not have the complete package necessary to hand Davis his first loss. It's a pointed critique, but one that's not entirely surprising given Davis's track record of dominating even highly skilled challengers.
Too undefeated. And what y'all? Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. All right, I'll welcome him.
Still, Roach isn't the type to be rattled by outside opinions. If anything, he thrives on the doubters and the naysayers. The more people question him, the more motivated he seems to become. Roach's mentality heading into this fight is simple. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to shock the world. While Davis is no stranger to trash talk, this particular rivalry seems to have taken on a more personal edge. Perhaps it's the shared history from their amateur days, or maybe it's Roach's relentless confidence. But there's an intensity here that goes beyond the usual pre-fight banter. Davis, known for his icy composure and devastating power, will be looking to make a statement with this fight. And if Roach isn't ready for Tank's blend of speed, power, and ring IQ, things could go downhill quickly.
I don't know Lamont Roach, but when you look at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at these other fighters that he should really be fighting, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire. Yeah. So don't come and but don't come at me.
That said, Roach's determination shouldn't be underestimated. He's shown time and time again that he's not afraid of tough challenges. This is the biggest stage of his career, and he's embracing it with open arms. Whether or not he can back up all the talk remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. Roach isn't coming to Brooklyn to play it safe.
What?
Who said that? You said
My
what?
man over
You
there
said what?
back.
Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you...
Tank Davis has been making it clear that he's taking his upcoming fight against Lamont Roach Jr. as seriously as ever. With the fight date locked in for March 1st, Davis has fully immersed himself in intense training, determined to stay at the top of his game. While the rivalry has been heated with plenty of trash talk, Davis showed a balanced mix of confidence and respect in his recent comments on Amazon Prime's Gloves Are Off pre-fight program. During the interview, Davis didn't hold back. His words were straight to the point, acknowledging Roach's skill set while making it clear he's well aware of all the pre-fight chatter. He's a solid fighter. It's going to be great. Come watch the fight, Davis said, but it was what he added next that drew attention. All that, and I see what you said talking about if you knock me out, you're going to do this. All right now, I saw it. Better be ready, fam. Davis's comments sent a clear message to Roach. He's watching, he's listening, and he's not taking anything for granted. Roach may have been vocal on social media, but Davis is making it known that words won't win the fight. At this stage of his career, Davis knows that preparation is everything. He's built his reputation not just on raw power, but also on his sharp ring IQ, which he's used time and again to dismantle opponents. One of the most striking aspects of Davis's approach leading up to this fight is how measured he's been. While known for his aggressive style and explosive knockouts, Davis has also matured as a fighter over the years. He understands that a single misstep in the ring can turn the tide of a fight instantly. Against a hungry, determined opponent like Roach, there's no room for complacency. And that's exactly why Davis has been in full grind mode during training camp. Insiders close to Davis's camp have also noted that his sparring sessions have been more intense than ever. With his team pushing him to his limits, Davis is leaving no stone unturned in his preparation. His dedication is clear. He's not just training to win. He's training to make a statement. But while Davis has shown respect for Roach's abilities, there's an underlying intensity that can't be ignored. He's not just preparing to outbox Roach, he's preparing to send a message to the rest of the lightweight division. A dominant performance on March 1st would further cement his place at the top and silence any critics who think Roach has a shot at pulling off an upset. For Davis, this fight is another opportunity to showcase his evolution as a fighter. His ability to adapt in the ring is one of his greatest strengths. Whether he's forced to go the distance or finds an opening for a knockout, Davis is known for making quick adjustments and capitalizing on his opponent's mistakes. Roach, with all his confidence and bravado, will have to contend with one of the most dangerous finishers in the sport. It's also worth noting that Davis thrives under pressure. The bright lights, the big stage, the trash talk, it's all fuel for the fire. He's been in high-stakes fights before, and every time, he's risen to the occasion. This fight is no different. If anything, the added tension only seems to sharpen his focus.
No way.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it. I guarantee it.
Calm down.
As March 1st approaches, All eyes will be on Davis to see how he handles the challenge Roach brings to the table. With his experience, power, and intense preparation, Tank is locked in and ready for whatever comes his way. While he's shown respect for Roach's abilities, make no mistake, Davis is stepping into that ring with one goal: to leave victorious and with his title intact. And if his words are any indication, he's prepared to do whatever it takes to make that happen. How do you think this plays out in the ring? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates.